Well, good morning. This is NZRCA TV, and I'm Brent Cann, one of the NZRCA announcers, and I'm catching up with the president of the NZRCA, Bruce Thomas. How are you, Bruce?
Good, thank you, Brett. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. And I'm also catching up with the lovely Dottie Bradshaw. How are you, Dottie?
Great.
So we're going to talk about first your early beginnings there, Bruce, how you got into rodeo.
It was through a good friend of mine, the late Don Tisdall, that he was doing bulldogging and rope and tie, and I just kind of jumped in the ute with him and then started riding steers, saddle bronc, and then some bulls, and broke open in that, and then I left it for 30 odd years, yeah.
And then you moved into the rope and tie and team roping nowadays?
When I came back to rodeo, yeah, it's kind of a hard sport to get out of your blood once you've had one lick up, yeah.
And you've also trained some fantastic horses on the way too that have won quite a lot of awards as well.
Yeah, the first one was fully trained when I purchased it, and I think that enabled me to move on pretty quickly to getting another couple going. Yeah, I got Chopper, who won a few rope and tie titles, and Willie, he won a couple also, but yeah.
Yep. And Dottie, how did you get into rodeo?
So Murray Derrick, who's the patron of the North Island, he asked me what I was doing next weekend, and I said nothing, and he said, I need you to come work at the rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 30 years ago.
And now you're just stuck now.
And now I'm here.
But you're heavily involved still with different things, because you were the national secretary for 10 years,
Yes.
but you've also still involved since you've kind of stepped down from that role in different roles, aren't you?
So I'm still the secretary of the Rodeo Animal Welfare Committee, which is the national committee that the minister has put in place that our sport uses to show our transparency in terms of animal welfare.
Yep.
Yes.
And what have you enjoyed about the whole rodeo world?
The people.
Yeah.
The people of the sport are amazing.
Yeah.
From all our contestants and their families and to the clubs. The clubs are incredible.
Yep. Yep. So Bruce, what have you enjoyed about the whole rodeo world?
The competitiveness of it, you know, like I'm 60 and I'm still quite roping against fellas that are 20-year-old, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky and beat them, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty cool feeling, and getting those horses going and making the finals at Fielding was pretty memorable when you against some of the legends, Clary Church and Patrick McCarthy, you know.
Yep.
Here I was with them and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So it means you can kind of match it with them when you're up in that standard.
At that age, yeah, when I was 40 something maybe.
So, but we've still got a few more rodeos to go. What's kind of your goals for the next 3 rodeos before finals?
Well, every time you nod, you're nodding to win.
Yeah.
You know, people that say they're not, well, kind of makes me wonder. But yeah, we need to pick up a couple more checks, and who knows, we might scrape into the finals, and then we'll give it a cut there and see how we go.
So you've taken over the president role. You've been there for a couple of seasons now.
Yeah.
How did it all come apart when you took over the president role?
Well, to be honest, I guess no one else was sticking their hand up, I guess. And yeah, I just thought, oh, well, give it a crack and see how we go and try and keep the sport going, yeah.
And I think it's in pretty strong hands, isn't it?
By the look of the crowds that are coming through the gateway, I'd say we're doing something correct, yes.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of these crowds having record crowds,
And there's a lot behind the scenes that goes on that the competitors don't see, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, like, too, you know, rodeos, it's a great family sport because it's always family affordable for families to come in, and there's not too much entertainment out in this world that you can bring a whole family and have pretty much a full day, can you?
Oh, very cheap. $25 for an adult, 7 hours entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, I met the man from Cambridge Stud, and he said I should be at Ellerslie, but he was at the Waikato Rodeo, and he said he had a great day and he's never seen a crowd like that, you know, and this is one of the top industry in the thoroughbred, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, you know, like the finals at Kiki, they had a massive crowd there last year. I expected probably might even be bigger this year, you know. Hopefully. 8,000 people or something they had there last year, so and I know that they'll put a lot of work into making that event the best possible way it can do anyway.
Yep, they certainly are.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
And I'll go back to Diety here. So what's your most memorable moment out of the whole rodeo world?
Meeting Bruce. I'm so lucky.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that recently the president of New Zealand Pony Clubs said to me that the other equestrian disciplines need to start looking to rodeo to learn about animal welfare. Now, given in the past that we've been treated like lepers by these disciplines, for them to turn around and recognise the work we're doing is significant and something we should celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think's what's something that remains in your memory bank there, Bruce, of something that that's something that's memorable in your moment of this whole rodeo world?
I guess I went to Vegas in the 80s. Oh, not Vegas, sorry, Calgary.
Yep.
Took a photo of the late Dion Church's name on the board.
Yep.
And then we went over a couple of years ago and I took a photo of his son's name on the board. In the lights.
Yeah, cool.
There won't be too many people who have those two photos.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. I think, cowboys and cowgirls from NZ are, they're achieving great things overseas, like the high standard that they're bringing to a table from a small country like it is.
Well, we're only humans and we're athletes like all the other athletes. Our difference over here, most people have got to work. We're over there, they live and breathe it.
Yeah.
If we lived and breathed it, I'm sure we'd have competitors at the top of the world. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah, when you start naming off a lot of cowboys and cowgirls that went overseas, like it's quite a high volume for a small community of rodeo that have went on to amazing things in the world of rodeo.
Very high.
Yeah, it's great for the sport too. It means that they're going in the right direction competitor-wise, and they're getting better and better all the time.
Yeah.
I think, do you believe the future's pretty strong with all the young competitors coming through?
Oh, without a doubt, because like I said before, this sport is so addictive.
Yeah.
Once they're in, that's it. There's no turning back.
Yeah, like you see some of those, some of the young stars they're really, like this season I've noticed, they're stepping up, probably 2-3 notches on what they were before, and I think it's kind of humbling for all the older competitors, isn't it?
It is, and there's a lot of older competitors there now, because we're quite young in New Zealand, so we're sharing that knowledge onto this generation, and they're probably getting a much bigger kickstart than the younger generation years ago got.
Yeah. And what do you think about that subject there, Diety, seeing all the young stars rise and going really well in the rodeo world?
Oh, I think it's amazing. In my time as National Secretary, some of the most enjoyable times I had was helping with the youth development and the teams to Australia.
Yeah. And
seeing those people still in our sport and being so successful. It's, a really good thing to be part of.
Yeah.
I've always said that once you've competed at a rodeo, it's in your blood, and you'll meet someone in the pub down the road, and they've got their boots on, they've got their jeans on. You talk to them, and they rode a steer back in the 80s, and it formed part of their lives and how they treat people and who they are, and it gets in your blood.
Yeah. So we've got Manitoto tomorrow. Got Ratahi in a couple of weeks' time, 2-day rodeo. It's looking all pretty good for the rest of the season. We should smash it out of the park, you think?
That's the plan every time you nod.
And what about you, Diety? What's your plans for the rest of the season?
So I'm at Manitoto working with the lovely Pip in the office tomorrow, and then that's my last one for the season. I'm actually not going to the finals this year for the first time in over 20 years.
Yeah, okay.
And I will miss it.
Yes, Well, viewers, thanks for joining us here today as we catch up with Bruce Thomas and also Diety Bradshaw. But also lock in tomorrow. We've got Manitoto Rodeo, kicks off at 9 a.m. That's at Waipiata in the South Island. And then we head to Ratahi on the 15th and 16th of March. It's a 2-day rodeo, so join us there. And then we've got the national finals at Kiki, hosted by the Waikato Rodeo Club. And you can purchase tickets online at Event Finder. please join us. It's 2 big rounds. We're going to crown some champions, and it's going to be pretty cool to see. So come and celebrate with the Cowboys and Cowgirls of the NZRCA. And my name is Brent Cann, NZRCA announcer, and good morning.